All right, guys, we're going to do my first lame online video. I'm going to try to put it on YouTube and kind of do our lecture here. So I'm on Moodle. I'm just going to show you where to find everything, what to do. Our last month here is going to be focused mostly on the skills components of training, along with sort of a follow-up to your project that you did in HP1. So I'll go as quick as I can, and you guys can do most of the work and ask me questions in class or on email. So if you scroll down, we've gone through our 4 main quiz units that we'll definitely hit again when we go towards our final. And after that, you guys just finished your nutrition quiz. We're moving on to skill components and getting a little bit deeper into our into designing a program based on what you need in the skills areas. So we'll still be teaching the health components and focusing on those, but not as much as HP1. So in these sections here, if you click on these links, there's a few links on, oh, that was pretty loud, but there's a few links on ESPN Sports Science that focus on the different components of fitness, which you'll also get from the PowerPoint, but it's kind of cool to watch them in action. So agility and speed are here. Some balance and coordination ones are in the next one, and then power and reaction time are there. And all I have up in that section right now is is the videos. So if you look at those, that'll give you a good idea. And then if you scroll down for skill components, excuse me, you'll find the skill components study guide. This is actually the same study guide PowerPoint from HP1. So hits the health related early, and then after that, skill related components. So just getting the definitions again, which most of you guys know common sense wise, but making sure that you know what they are and how they apply to you individually and your sport. So then the last thing you're going to need to open, and we can talk due dates as we get going this week, but you're going to have this skills component project done. Probably have everything in, well before the final, at least a week before the final, so we can focus on reviewing for a week. So there will be 4 sections. The first one is an intro and personal profile. It's really the same one as you did in HP1 if you were in my class, and we can go over the details of it. But basically, in a 1 to 2 page journal entry, you're writing about your experience, your personality, and your current goals. So you're going to write kind of, it would be the equivalent of if you were interviewing someone about what they wanted to put together for a program. The second part is going to be a general health component program. So for this one, if you read it, it doesn't need to be as detailed as what I expect out of HP1 kids. I really just want you to kind of take me through a phase of your program right now, and I'm a little bit flexible with it, but it really should look pretty solid right now based on your own needs, based on the sports you're playing, based on the things you want to improve on. I should definitely see what areas of fitness would you particularly focus on, which ones might take a back seat a little bit, and then using the fit formula, which is right at the top of Moodle as well. Where are you at right now with your health components? So when you're training muscular strength, muscular endurance, cardio, flexibility, and working on your lifestyle outside of sports, how often are you going to train those things? How hard would you train? How long would those workouts be? And listing those exercises. If it's a muscular training program that you designed, would you be more of a machine person? Would you be more Olympic lifts, free weights, body weight exercises, that kind of stuff? So that is the general health component program. So you still have to do it. It's just more. It turns more into a journal entry, similar to the first part, rather than a real analysis style like it would be in HP1. So moving forward, this is where you guys start getting into HP2 work. All right, and we're going to talk a lot about skill components over the last month of school. So you guys are going to do a needs analysis, which you should have done in HP1, but now your needs analysis is going to be ranking your needs in order using the skill component. So it's going to be those 6 in order of what you need. So one thing I always tell people is avoid doing like a sport analysis. Try to make sure that you're doing a needs analysis for your needs. So if you and your friend both play the same sport, you might have very different needs based on playing different positions, or you have different strengths and weaknesses. So make sure you do it from your perspective. That's why it says that right there. All right. And then the last 2 sections, your section 4 is going to be drills, games, and skills training. So take your needs analysis, and then you're going to research and plan kind of your go-to top 3 drills that you would work on that apply to you mostly based on your top 3 needs. You don't need to do it for all of them, but in this example of my number 1 need would be speed in this, for my situation. Agility comes in second, power comes in third. Don't worry about these 3. Just focus on the first 3 and design 2 to 3 drills that work your top 3 needs. You don't have to design anything that's brand new. Simple drills are fine. Things that you already know are fine. If someone told me, hey, I'm going to work on my 40-yard dash for speed, that's what people do for their speed. Just be able to justify it, because your sport or your position might be better off working on shorter sprints or longer sprints. So make sure that there's always an analysis about why you made that decision. It doesn't need to be med school stuff, but it needs to be well thought out. All right, so then the last part, I have everyone do this for all my HP1 projects as well. So your conclusion should be sort of a reflection on that phase. It's going to be tough to actually implement your program, but I want you to think about, a month from now, or 6 weeks, or 8 weeks from now, what would you do, or what are some possibilities that you would do for your next phase? So you would list within your conclusion, along with kind of justifying it and adding some extra thought to it, 3 things you like about your program. So some things that you think would be consistent, again going forward. 2 weaknesses or areas of uncertainty. So let's say my needs analysis was like this above. I might say, I kind of project a weakness of my program being a lack of training in reaction time. I wasn't sure whether reaction time was going to be in the 3rd spot or the 4th spot, and I have a feeling I'm going to have to focus on that eventually. So things like that. Any sort of weaknesses of your program, things you weren't certain about, things that you are most likely to change, 6 weeks, 8 weeks from now when you evaluate and make those small changes. All right, and then last thing says 1 possible idea for your next program once you finish this program. So once you finish this phase, and really instead of 1 possible idea, I should kind of say just outline the overall general idea for your next program. So let's say, I know that I'm going to train speed really hard for this next 6 weeks, and I have a pretty good feeling that the next phase, it's going to look more like agility first. As mentioned before, reaction time might change and be up there more than power. And just kind of give a 1 paragraph. I guess if I could rewrite this, I would say 1 paragraph describing a general prediction for what your next phase would look like. All right, so that's the review there. That should be your lecture. I hope you can get through it. I will find ways so that you can skip the boring parts of what I'm talking about. I'll keep working on it. Just kind of bear with me. And I'll see you guys in class this week. All right, thanks a lot.